When the yarn meets the hook, it becomes more than just a look. Every scarf, every bag, every warm embrace carries.
Hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Crochet, and in today's tutorial we're going to be making a gorgeous triangular dress. So these are the materials you'll be needing for this dress. You'll be needing your balls of yarn. You can make use of two colors or any number of colors you would like to make this in. So you'll be needing your measuring tape, hook size of 4.0 mm, pair of scissors, and stitch markers. You'll be needing two of this, so it's optional. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can improvise. So this is all you'll be needing to make this dress. So please like, share, and subscribe. And if this is what you're interested in learning how to make, please stay to the end of the video, and let's get right into class. So we are going to be working on the upper part of this dress first before working on the down part. So we're going to make a chain of 4 to begin the circle. So slip knots, make a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you have your chain of 4, then you can slip stitch into the first chain, which is here. Slip stitch. So now you have a tiny circle. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Into this ring, you're going to make extra 3 double crochet. So to make double crochet, yarn over, go in, pull up, 1, pull through 2, yarn over, go in, pull up, pull through 2, pull through 2. So you have 2 here, yarn over, go in, pull up, pull through 2, pull through 2. So which means you have a total of 4 double crochets because your chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to chain 1 and have another 4 double crochets into the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. So which in total you have 8 double crochets into your ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4 here, divided by a chain of 1, then under 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So into the first stitch, you're going to go in with 1 double crochet. Then into the next stitch, going with 1 double crochet into the stitches. Then into your chain 1, you're going with 2 double crochets. 2. Chain 1, then under 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Into the first stitch here, going with 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. Into this stitch, 1 double crochet. Your chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. So into the third chain, which is here, you're going to go in with 2 extra double crochets. Going with 2 double crochets. So you should have 7 stitches on this side and 7 stitches on this side to complete 14 stitches. So 1, 2, this counts as your chain 3 counts as the first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this side, chain 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So into your chain we're going to place 2 double crochets. Now we are going to be switching color. So chain 2, then cut. press down, go into the same stitch, pick up a strand, then tie 2 times. Insert your hook and your yarn, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into the same stitch, you're going to have another 1 double crochet. 1 double crochet into each stitches until you get to your chain 1. So every stitch you have 1 double crochet. So into your chain 1 you have 2 double crochets, chain 1, and that 2 double crochet into the same chain 1. Then 1 double crochet downward. Then into the last stitch, which is your chain 3, you're going to place 2 double crochets into it. So 1, 2. That's placing 2 double crochet into your last chain 3. So now on this side you have 1, 2. On the third row you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have 10 stitches on this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every row is increased by 6 stitches. That's 3 stitches on this part and 3 stitches on this part. So you're going to chain 3 again, turn into the same stitch, you're going to place another 1 double crochet, which counts as 2 double. Go in 1 double crochet until you get to the next chain 1. Into your chain 1 you're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 1, then another 2 double crochets into the same stitch, then go 1 double crochet downward. Into the chain 3 you're going to place 2 double crochets, so which means on the 4th row you should have 13 stitches on this side and 13 stitches on this side. You're going to chain 2 again, then cut. We're going to begin the 5th row with our next color. So going chain 3 into the same stitch, you have 1 double crochet. Always remember to place 1 double crochet into the same stitch as your chain 3, then into every other stitches until you get to your chain 1. You have 1 double crochet each. Chain 1, then 2 double crochet, then work back down with 1 double crochet each until you get to your chain 3. Into the last stitch, which is the chain 3, you're going to place 2 double crochets. So on the 5th row now you're going to be having 32 stitches, which is 16 on this point and 16 on this point. So you're going to keep repeating this until you have your bust to bust measurement plus 1 inch. So I'm working on 21 inches as my bust to bust measurement. So I'm going to continue this until I get to 22 inches, so that's 21 inches plus 1. I'm going to continue this until I have my 22 inches. So anytime you feel like you are having irregular shape, or you feel like it's not on the same track, then you can count your number of stitches. Whatever you have here should be the same you are having here. So this is 7 inches. I'm going to continue until I have 22 inches, and by that time I should be having between 12 to 13 inches of top length. So this is 4 inches. So by that time I should be having between 12 to 13 inches as the top length. So I'm done. I have my right measurement here, and I have, I think, 20 rows: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And I have 20 rows here. So 20 rows is 21.5 inches. So, and this is 13 inches. So the height, the length of the top is 13 inches, while the circumference I'm having here is 21.5 inches. 21.5 inches. So now I'm going to now work on the lower parts. So I'm going to measure the waist. So the waist I'm working on is 27 inches. That's the total waist I'm working on, but I'm going to decrease up until 24 inches. I'm going to minus 3 inches away from it. That's 24 inches. Out of 24 inches, I already have 21.5 inches. So I'm just going to make a chain of 2.5 inches to complete the 24 inches. So I'm going to make a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is going to be 2.5 inches. So I have 2.5 inches here. And I'm just going to slip stitch into the top stitch. So into the chain 3, I'm going to slip stitch. So now I have waist measurement of 24 inches. So this is it. This, so you can go ahead and minus 3 inches away from your original waist measurement. Like I said, I'm working on 27 inches as the original waist measurement, but right now I have 24 inches, which is 3 inches away from the original waist measurement. So once this is done, I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch. So I'm going to work on it round. So chain 3. This is the outer part, so I'm going to fold on the outer part. This is the outer part. So now work into your chain with 1 double crochet each. 1 double crochet each. Into the tiny loop. This tiny loop, you're going with 1 double crochet. Into the double crochet, going with 1 double crochet. Into the tiny loop, going with, to the tiny loop, 1 double crochet. Into the double crochet, going with 1 double crochet. So you're going to repeat this round. Into the tiny loop, going with 1 double crochet. Into the double crochet, going with 1 double crochet. Into the tiny loop, 1 double crochet. Into the double crochet, 1 double crochet. So you should have this. Into your tiny loop, 1 double crochet. Into your double crochet, 1 double crochet. So continue this way until you are back to this point. Into the tiny ring, you can place 2 double crochet there, then continue with your 1 double crochet. into the double crochet and double crochet into the tiny ring, into the tiny loop rather, but the ring should have two double crochet. The other stitches should have one double crochet, which is the double crochet and the tiny loop. Once you get to the last end, you're going to slip stitch into your chain 3. Chain 3, then turn into the same stitch, going with one double crochet, then go in one double crochet into every stitch until you get to the last stitch. So you're going to continue going one double crochet into every stitch until the last stitch until you get to 16 inches, which is going to be the half length before we start working on the hips. Into the last stitch, you're going to place one double crochet. You are ending your row here. You're not having your stitch into this loop here because your chain 3 already has it. So when you place your last double crochet here, then it means you're increasing. So slip stitch into your chain 3, chain 2, then cut. Go back into the chain, pick up a strand and tie. Because we are switching color. So now this is it. You're going to go round and round with this until you get to 16 inches. This is 13 inches. So you're going to continue going around until you get to 16 inches. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into the next stitch, one double crochet. So you go one double crochet round until you get to the end again. So go one round. That's continue to go one double crochet until you get to the last stitch. Into the last stitch here, place one double crochet, then slip stitch into your chain, into your top stitch. Now chain 3, turn into the same stitch. When you have your double crochet into the same stitch, then it means you are skipping the stitch on the last stitch. So into the same stitch, have one double crochet, then continue with one double crochet. But you're going to end your stitch here, your row here, and not here. When you place your last double crochet here, then it means you are increasing because your chain 3 already has it and it counts as a stitch. So continue to go one double crochet until 16 inches. That will be the half length. No increase, no decrease, just going one double crochet round. So I already have my 16 inches now. I'm just going to take my measurements. So this is 16 inches. From this point, you're now going to start increasing. So get the midpoint. Going to fold to get the midpoint. Get a stitch marker and insert your stitch marker in the midpoint. So for me, I have it here as the midpoint. And also here as the midpoint. This is going to be our new point of increase. So you're going to start placing 2 double crochets into the midpoint. So turn. One double crochet until you get to the midpoint. Into the stitch marker, you place 2 double crochets. 2 double crochet into the same stitch where you have the stitch marker. Every other stitches will carry 1 double crochet until you get to the next stitch marker. So 1 double crochet into every other stitches until you get to the next stitch marker. You're also going to place 2 double crochets into where you have your stitch marker. So henceforth, this is our increase point until you get to the hip measurement. Not exactly your hip measurement, but 4 inches away from the hip measurement, 4 to 5 inches. So after having 2 stitches into the point where you have your stitch marker, you go on with 1 double crochet each until you get to the last stitch. I'm going to go 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the next 2 double crochets. Into the 2 double crochet here, you're also going to place 2 double crochets. Also place 2 double crochets. Then every other stitch is 1 double crochet until you get to the next stitch marker. So you're going to continue this until you have your hip measurement minus 4 inches. So I'm working on 39 inches as the hip measurement. Now I'm going to continue this until I have 35 inches because I'm decreasing 4 inches away from it. So I'm going to continue this until I have 17.25 inches. That's going to be 35 inches in total. So you can continue this until you have 4 to 5 inches away from the original hip measurements you are working on. So into where you have your 2 double crochets, you also place 2 double crochets. Then continue until you get to the last point again. So like I said, you're going to keep repeating this until you have 4 to 5 inches away from your hip measurements. I already have my hip measurements, and from my point of increase to this point. So the next thing to do now is to continue working one double crochet into every stitch round until you get to the dress length. So now I'm going to stop placing 2 double crochets into uh, my stitch marker point, which is here. So I'm going to stop placing an increase on where I have 2 double crochets. So henceforth it's just going to be one double crochet round until I get to my dress length. So from now until I get to my dress length, I'm going to stop increasing. So we're no longer increasing, we're not increasing nor decreasing. It's just going to be one double crochet into every stitch round. So where I have my 2 double crochet, I'm just going to place one double crochet there because we're no longer increasing. So if you keep increasing, then you're just going to exceed your hip measurement and it's going to be too big. So you're going to stop increasing at this point and keep having one double crochet into every of the stitches until you get to your dress length. So if you are working on a maxi dress, from this point till you get to the dress length, you are going to continue having one double crochet into every of the stitches. So now I've reached my skirt length and I'm going to chain one. So the next round now is going to be one round of single crochet. So chain one, turn to the other side and have one single crochet into every stitch until the last stitch. So into the first stitch, you're going with one single crochet. To make a single crochet, you go in directly. You don't yarn over. You have to loop, then put through the two. Then go in one single crochet into every stitch without skipping a stitch until the last stitch. I'm done with my one single crochet round, so I'm just going to slip stitch into this, chain two, then cut, go into the same stitch and pull up a strand. This is done. We're going to move to the edges. We're going to make one single crochet across, but this is the wrong side. This is the inner part, so I'm going to switch to the outer part, which is this. So now this is the outer part. So from this point, I'm going to make one single crochet around the edges. One single crochet. So into all the stitches, I'm going to go one single crochet. So skip this and this, move to this slip stitch. Then go one single crochet into the other stitches. Slip stitch into the beginning point. Slip stitch, then chain two and cut. Press down. Go into the same stitch and So now this is done. So all we need to do now is to work on the strap. So I'm going to make a long chain. So this is 2 strands, but I'm doubling to 4. So then make a long chain. Have a long chain here that will serve as the first strap. So I'm just going to place into this slip stitch. Place into the chain 1 of the single crochet. Then continue with your chain. So now this is done. So now I'm done making my long strap. So you're going to take our measurements. So now the total length of the dress is, I have 32 inches as the total length of the dress. So this is it. So this is the hip measurement and the waist measurements, which is still 24 inches. So now the next thing to do is to pass this across. So this is what the back is going to be looking like. Then you can go ahead and tie. So this is done. So thank you for watching to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next class. Bye.